Well, good morning and thank you very much, Patricia. Just get this microphone up a little bit higher. Before I officially welcome you on behalf of LESI, I would like to give you a few insights into LESI itself and to my agenda during this upcoming year. I also think it's important that I give thanks to a number of people and acknowledgements, so I'll do that as well. Just to give you a flavour of my year, and the theme for my year is looking to the future, a year of bold new ideas. In Amsterdam, when I was elected, I mentioned that theme, looking to the future, did not mean that we ignore the past. It means learning from it. And it also means seeking to realise the unfulfilled potential of our great society. And I think that unfulfilled potential has a recognition in the sense of how we've evolved. I mean, we've evolved from a society that was based purely on licensing to a society that now deals very significantly with issues of business and intellectual property in a broad sense. And that it's reflected in the conference program here. That conference program deals with matters of intellectual property management, valuation issues, patents and standards. So we certainly consider LES to be the premier society involved in the area of business dealings and IP. I then wanted to just give you a sense of what LESI actually is, because I'm sure that many of you in the audience don't have a day-to-day interaction with LESI. And this diagram, whilst all of you may not be able to see it from the back, and it started as a diagram that looked like Mickey Mouse rather than the diagram that it is with the two ears above, is a diagram that indicates that LESI is the glue for LES's international reach, and it's an important element of that glue. You'll see from the one side of Mickey's ears to the other side of Mickey's ears that we, at least from an administrative perspective, we break up the societies on the basis of regions. So the Americas are over there, Asia Pacific is over here, and we have Europe, the Middle East and Africa in the middle. It's important to understand our reach. We cover 92 countries, we have 32 societies, and as at the end of 2008 we had 11,361 members, and that membership is increasing. A particularly pleasing feature of this meeting is that we have 40 countries represented here, and that is a real endorsement of the international reach that we have. I think there are a few societies that would be able to have that sort of reach in a meeting of this nature. I wanted to talk about three elements of my agenda. The first one will be broadening our engagement. The second one will be regeneration, not recycling. And the third one, which you'll see, this is the second last point there, is speaking up for IP. Let me talk briefly first about broadening our engagement. And broadening our engagement is a very simple concept from my perspective, and that is a society that seeks to be more inclusive and less exclusive. There are a number of things that I mentioned to the international delegates yesterday in terms of what we've been doing on that front. I won't go through all of those, but certainly a number of them may be of interest to you. So tomorrow evening, I'm hosting a number of you in my suite upstairs so that you can, we can engage in a dialogue and understand, perhaps get a little bit more of a sense of what LES International is about. We have a Women in LESI task force, and they held their first event here. They gave their preliminary report as to recommendations here as well. Broadening our engagement also means making, and I refer to the last bullet point on this slide, and that is developing our industry, professional and regional committees into a natural entry point for LESI. It's not always been apparent as to how one enters LESI, and what we're seeking to do is to make these committees far more visible to you. So amongst those committees on the industry side are the Life Sciences Committee, on the professional side of the Trademark Patent Technology Licence Committee, and then we have the regional committees as well. So I encourage you to find an entry point in that particular area. A particularly important theme from my perspective is the theme of regeneration, not recycling. We need new ideas, we need new and younger members, and certainly I think that the societies have grasped the nettle on that front, and we are seeking both at an international level and at a society level to ensure that those younger members come through. And for those of you that would like to be more involved and in that space, Jim Malachowski is chair of that Young Executive Members Task Force. I move on to the last area that I wanted to chat about, and that is speaking up for IP. I think that certainly in my experience moving from private practice into a public research organisation, it struck me very significantly that there tends to be, or can tend to be, a complacency about identifying the importance of intellectual property. And I think that LES and other IP societies need to take a more proactive role in making sure that they speak up for intellectual property in terms of its importance and relevance in society. And I think that that importance and relevance has to be an importance and relevance beyond a commercial importance, and a social relevance as well. So that social impact, certainly from my position at CSIRO, the social impact is a particularly important one. We cannot forget that social impact, and we have to be an advocate for the importance of intellectual property. So at least we've started on the right foot, and you'll see in that first bullet point that we've made 3 submissions to EU bodies on that front, and we expect that we'll be doing more on that front to make sure that people understand that importance.